saying my voice is very low and my voice is not singable. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the Ruby Meetup. What's the date today? It is the 23rd of May. Today I'll be showing you how to do file uploads in Rails specifically. Ruby on Rails, and this might apply. I've not done it with Sinatra, Hanami, or whichever, but it seems like it might apply. You guys can go and try that out later on. Okay. Welcome. Happy to see your code. In case you have any question, you can type it in. Yeah, I can now see you. You're in a library. Yay. How you doing? ASP.NET books. You're in the wrong library. Atukuski. Anasema? All right. So, happy to see Getty, Kevin, Crafty, Lucy, and of course the library guy. I don't know whether he's studying ASP.NET or what. All right. So, just a brief intro. File uploads. You know, uploading databases can normally take the how do you call them? Primitive data types. They easily take up primitive data types like no problem Okongo. So they can easily take up primitive data types like integers, strings, all right? But when you try to upload a file like a document or a presentation or a spreadsheet, it doesn't know how to handle that, all right? So for uploading such, what normally happens is that you get you do it in a way such that you upload it to any provider who can take up the files, save it in their hard disk, then they give you back the link. Okay? Take the files, give it to a provider who can store them, then they'll give you back the link to where the file is. So if the user updates their profile, you can take it to any of the providers, let them upload it there, then they'll bring you back a link. What you do with the link is you take it and store it in the database in form of a string. Okay. Now, when the user wants the image, you go to your database, check up the link, which is now a string, create a URL out of it, go to wherever you stored it, fetch it and bring it back. Okay, so that's what normally happens. That is if you have, this can normally happen in cases like, actually this happens in everyone's case. So if you have another provider, that's what you do. If you are your own provider, that is if you have your own computer or your own server, that's like a virtual private server, VPS. If you have a VPS, then you can actually upload them into your hard disk. Okay. After uploading them into your hard disk, you take the link of where they are and save it on the database. So when the user wants it, the app actually checks up on the link, goes to your disk, checks it up and serves it to the user. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So today we're going to look at how exactly do we do this. Okay, I might not go into the details, but I'll do a brief overview so that we understand. Now, this is a problem that most people face when they work with something like Heroku. Heroku is a software as a service. They bundle up everything for you. So when you deploy to Heroku, it automatically does all the configurations for you, sets up the DB, sets up the environments for you. Okay, but Heroku is a read-only file system. The only thing it can upload is what you have, your code. That's the only thing it can upload. Okay, so since it can only upload that, it means that when users want to add or change their profile pictures, you cannot save it to Heroku. You have to save it somewhere else. So let's look at that case for now. Then before we finish up, we'll have a look at how you do it in your virtual private server. Okay. Okay, so this was a real pain in the Ruby, or let me say Rails world. So there are a couple of gems that can do this for you, right? I'll now share my screen. I was not sharing my screen. That was a long introduction on what you're going to cover today. I think what I'll do, let's share Io. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The VPS, Defense Virtual Private Server.
Yeah.
Do you buy it?
Yeah, no one will give it to you for free.
Okay. And sometimes I've seen people, I don't know, develop their own server. Development server.
No, you can't develop your own stuff. Okay. Do you have the sticky note? Okay, help me with that. Give it to her. She can write up the VPS thing because we're going to discuss about VPSs at the end. Then we can have it here. So at the end of the meetup, I'll have a look at that, then answer. Okay. The virtual private server thing. Am I sharing my screen? I don't think so. So let me share my screen, the whole screen. Okay. So, okay. One such gem. Oh, by the way, yesterday I watched the recording for the JavaScript meetup. Not the meetup. JavaScript mob session. The fonts were too small, so someone can't really see what we were doing from that. That's why I am increasing my font to, let's say, 120. So in case someone is watching either from the phone or wherever they are, they can easily see. I can also do this, put it on full screen. Okay. Right. So one such gem is CarrierWave. I can see people taking selfies. I think they're excited to be in this meetup. One such is what you call CarrierWave. So CarrierWave, you can use it with Rails, Sinatra, or any other Ruby framework. All right. Let's go over here. You need to add it to your gem file, definitely. All right. Then you bundle. This is a bit common for every gem. Add it to your gem file, bundle to install it. Then you use the generators that they have to generate what we call an uploader. This will create a folder in your app directory called uploaders. Okay. Now you're generating an uploader for Avatar, so it means you want to upload avatars. All right. If you created an uploader for documents, then you're probably going to upload documents. So this is the model. Okay. So for after you do that, it will create the uploader for you. The generators will create an uploader for you. Check out this file for some hints on how to customize your uploaders. It will look something like this. So this is the uploader that you'll have. The uploader inherits from the uploader base. Okay, the CarrierWave uploader base. Probably a module, and a class. Okay, then this is a class. Storage is a class. Then you say it's a file. So this actually means that whatever is going to be uploaded, I'm going to save it in my database, in my computer as a file. Okay, the storage type is file. What we're actually doing here is to discuss CarrierWave's API. That's all we're doing. So you can use that to store and retrieve like this. So previously we agreed that if someone uploads the files, they'll be put into your hard disk. Okay. After they're put into your hard disk, a link will be saved. Then you can retrieve. This is how to upload the file. You create a new uploader, the avatar uploader, which is right here, which you generated using the generator. Okay. After creating the uploader, you can now call the store method on the uploader that you have and pass it the file that you want to save. Then again, CarrierWave gives us a retrieve from store method that gets it from wherever it is. Okay. So it gives you, explaining this. A permanent storage and a cache for temporary storage you can use. I don't think that's really important. So just in case you're using Active Record, okay? If you're using Active Record, then CarrierWave should be loaded into your ORM. Otherwise, you'll need to require this extension manually. Okay? Make sure you are loading this one after your ORM. Otherwise, you'll need to do this. Add a string column for the model you want to mount the uploader by creating this migration. So this is where you'll have the string. Add a string column. So this will contain the URL, the half URL. Now open your model file and mount the uploader. Mount uploader. Inside your user, mount this uploader. It's an avatar. Then use the avatar uploader. Okay. Now you can now cache files by assigning them to that particular attribute. So this is exactly how to store. They will automatically be stored when the record is saved. Okay. So if you have a user, then you assign them an avatar, which you get from the form probably. Okay. In this case, what he's actually doing is opening a file and assigning that file to the user. That's what he's doing. Saving this will save it to the database. If you ask for the URL, it will give you the URL of where the file is. That's u.avatar.url. Now this avatar is this name over here. And it is the column name that we generated. Here it is. It is the column name again. So you can get the user.avatar.url. It will give you the whole URL for where the file is. Okay. Avatar identifier, avatar_identifier. So this looks more like metaprogramming, because if it's document, then it will be document identifier. If it's image, then it will be image identifier. Okay. So this is a bit of metaprogramming done there. So u.avatar will never return nil. And if there's no photo, even if there's no photo, to check if the photo was saved, you can check if the file is nil instead. You can't use avatar nil. You have to do this to check. Okay. These are different forks of the same that work with different ORMs. Data mapper, Mongo ID, and the SQL thing. You can upload multiple files. You can now follow the instructions from there. Okay. That's how to upload multiple files. Now, the next thing is what if you want to tell it exactly where to store the files? I want you to store the files under my under my pictures, triple T. That's when you went for the triple T, the party that Mise was at with all the makeup and the booty shot. Yeah. So if you want the TBT for triple T with your booty shot, Mise, you tell it where to save that. Okay. Just so that you never lose the sweet memories of triple T. What are you saying? We can't hear you, Mise. Okay, she's saying that she'd love to do that. So you need to tell it where to store it. So you override the method called, exact words. Override the method called store directory. Okay, this is inside our uploader. Just override and tell it, this is where you should be putting my files. All right. So this works as well as if you're using Amazon S3, blah, 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 blah. Then you can do that for the cache directories. Okay. Now, I'll explain the Amazon S3s and the likes later. You need to secure your uploads. If people are supposed to be uploading their images, they should not be able to upload JavaScript files. They should not be able to upload document files. I don't know whose profile picture can be a spreadsheet or otherwise. So you can secure search by saying, I only allow .png, JPEG, GIF, or JPG. Yes? So you override the method extension whitelist again. So all uploads to my uploader must be of this format. Otherwise, it will throw an error. So this is a nice API by CarrierWave to allow you to handle file uploads. Okay. The same thing can be done by content types. Let's say you need an uploader to accept only images. It can be done like this. So extension whitelist. So you can use the extension dot something, or you can use content type thing. Okay. Now you can also blacklist. Let's say you need an uploader to reject JSON files. So you can blacklist. This is whitelisting. This is blacklisting. I'd go for whitelisting rather than blacklisting. For reasons being, it's easier for me to say what I want rather than trying to say what I don't want. What you don't want? Do you want a file in DWG? That's an AutoCAD file. XC, it's usually XFC something. Do you want that? Do you want that? You don't want that. Do you want an MP3 file? MP4? AVI? As your profile picture? AVI? MK4? MKV?
No.
So it's easier to say what you want than what you don't want. There are a million extensions. Do you want an ISO image and a whole Ubuntu image as your profile picture? So to me, it's easier to whitelist than to try and blacklist. Okay. So setting the content type, not really making sense to me. Now adding versions. So if the user uploaded a file, their profile image, okay, users have weird images. Just a while back, Crafty looked at someone's profile picture in Facebook. I don't know whether it was a profile picture or something. It was of a low quality and a weird aspect ratio. So expect users to upload such into your application. Okay. Now the easiest way to handle that is to crop it for them at the back. All right, for different users. Instagram does this. It crops it at the front, not at the back. They might also crop it at the back, probably, just in case you are using their API to do the uploads. So if you're using CarrierWave and you want to do the crops, then you need Minimagic. It's a library for manipulating images. So you include the library, CarrierWave Minimagic, then you can call this particular method and tell it, kindly do 800 by 800 for me. Okay. Then let me have a thumbnail version, which is a 200 by 200. Now you can use the thumbnail version for whatever you want, like for mobile profile pictures. Then for cover photos, you use the 800 by 800, or for the desktop, you call the 800 by 800. So CarrierWave allows you to have different versions of the same file. Okay, I hope you're going okay so far. All right. So there are different options for the resizing. Okay, very many different options, and it's possible to nest versions within versions. I want an animal human or an animal monkey, different versions for that. Then you can have conditional versioning. Okay, anyone interested can go through this at their own time because we need to cover some others. All right, making work across, I don't think we need that. How do you remove uploaded files? Okay, this is interesting. So right here we have a form that takes in the user object. Okay, This is an object, probably a user, created at the, how do you call it? Created at the controller level. Okay. Then you tell it it's a multi-part form. Whenever you're working with binary files that needs uploads, you have to tell it it's a multi-part. Okay. Then at this point, you have an avatar, which is an image tag. Getting the URL is the user avatar URL if you have an avatar. Okay. Is that okay? All right. Then this is a file field with the avatar, which uploads the avatar. So you can use this to upload the avatar. This shows you the avatar. This particular section is a checkbox to removing the avatar. Now, if you click on that, it will literally remove it. You have remove avatar. If you want to remove the file manually, you can call remove avatar, then save the object. Okay. Another metaprogramming. This can be different. It can be avatar, it can be image, it can be file, document, whatever you decided to name it. Now, another option can be you can allow users to give links to where the images are. Kind of like how Gravatar does it. So you can allow them to give remote URL by saying that this field is a remote URL avatar. CarrierWave will handle the rest for you. Yeah.
So will it download it and save it, or will it be fetching from the remote URL?
Okay, let's read through. Unmute yourself, please. Now, the users can find it convenient to upload the file from a location. Okay. CarrierWave makes this simple. Add this section. If you're using Active Record, CarrierWave will indicate invalid URLs and download failures automatically with attribute version errors. This means that if in case there's a problem with the URL, you'll be told in the errors. Okay. If you haven't disabled this version, you'll need to handle those yourself. I'm not sure whether it's probably going to get it and save it on your DB. Yeah. It's probably going to do that. Just so that if that particular origin moves, yeah, it will use that. Providing a default URL, that's just an option. Recreating versions, we talked about versions before. So how do you configure CarrierWave for it to work well? If you save files in your file system, this is why at least knowing Linux is a bit of an advantage. So permissions, these file permissions, 0666, that means read, write, read, write, read, write, if I'm not wrong. The user, the group, and others can read and write, if I'm not wrong. Directory permission, 07777. This means the owner can read, write, and execute. The group that the owner belongs to can read, write, and execute, and any other person can read, write, and execute. Then you know what this does. Storage is file, okay? So this means that you can upload read-only files. Yes, we're going there. Yeah. This means you can upload read-only files, okay, by giving it permissions for only 0. If you give it 000, then it means no one can access it. 0 means the owner cannot access it, the group of the owner cannot access it, and every other person cannot access it. If you give it a 6000, it means only whoever created it can get it and can write another version. 5, I can't really remember those, but there's a way of coming up with that. Or alternatively, you can do this. You call permissions and pass it, the Linux way of doing permissions. Okay. So if you're using Rails, then you can create initializers like this. So this initializer is what will have these particular configurations. Initializers are there so that whenever Rails boots up, it will include those files and have it when it's running. So it will have these particular configurations as long as it's running. That's what, whenever you initialize a Rails application, that's like doing Rails server. Starting up a server, it will take those and put it in the environment. So it will have this configuration with it, all these. So whenever it wants to do anything, it will be checking through the configurations. Okay. So you can go and create a file called CarrierWave under initializers, which will do that. Testing with CarrierWave, just in case you're interested in testing. Now, if you're in the test environment or you're in the Cucumber environment, Cucumber is used for testing, then you can do this configurations. Okay. Remember that you've already set this file storage in your uploader. The storage setting is from this initializer will be ignored. So even if you put file here, you already put it somewhere else, so it will be ignored. This is how to do tests. I don't really think I'll go through that. So fog, or I don't know how to read it, but I think it's fog. Now, if you want to use fog, then you must add it in your CarrierWave initializer using this method. Now, this fog is what allows us to upload to other people's servers, whoever can accept. Let's say Dropbox allows you to upload files, right? So if we have a fog for uploading to Dropbox, fine, you can use that. If you have one for uploading to PodyHQ, you can use that. If you have one for uploading to any provider that allows you to upload files, okay? Not everyone will allow you to. Yes, Dennis. Yes. No, you're not wrong. So when you say it's used in production, I have used fog in my development environment. But what that means is that it will upload everything to the remote that you're trying to do. Fog simply means I'm giving it up to another provider to handle it for me. That's what fog does. Okay. So for example, let me just explain this, then you come back to that. All right. For example, you can do Amazon S3. S3 in Amazon is usually simple. Amazon S3, it's usually simple. Amazon. Usually simple storage service, exactly. Or is it S3 should be AWS, Amazon. Yeah, it's 3 S's. That's why they call it SC. All these are Amazon services. So here, Amazon Simple Storage Service. Amazon Simple Storage Service, S3. Okay? So if you want to upload your files to Amazon S3, then you use a gem called Fog AWS for Amazon Web Services. Okay? It will allow you to upload files to S3. Now, if you set this fog provider to fog, then you give it credentials. Credentials allow you to use that particular service, right? So if you're using Amazon, there are a few credentials that will be needed from you that will allow you to create the assets that you want to create. Now, at this point, in our initializers, okay, we can have this in our initializer, right? You can do CarrierWave.configure. This is exactly what we had here. Not exactly, but something close to this. Okay. Only that this time round, we're telling it that our provider is Fog AWS, not, what was the initial one? File. It is not, it's no longer file. Okay. No, it's not. No, this was not file. Fog provider will be this. Fog credentials. You say who the provider is, the access key, and the secret key, which region it is. This is optional, optional, optional. All these are required. Well documented over here. Fog directory is required. Where do you want to upload this? So Amazon S3 normally has different folders that you can upload things. So if you want to upload it to Mrs. Triple T, then everything should be under Fog directory Triple T. So every file that she uploads will be under Triple T. Okay. All right. Now, the storage, previously we had file, now we have Fog in your uploader. Okay. That's for S3. So Dennis, even in your development environment, if you say that your storage is Fog and you give it this, no one and nothing will stop it from uploading to S3. Okay, because it has all the permissions and it has the file, it will do the upload. I've done that a couple of times. Okay. What else? There's another provider called Rackspace. Almost the same procedure. Okay. There's another provider called Google, who you can use for storage services. Same thing. You need a couple of gems. Almost the same configuration. Okay. Yeah, RMagic is for image manipulations, just in case you want to manipulate images. Migrating from Paperclip. This means you can guess what Paperclip does. What does it do? Guess, 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 guess. It does file uploads. That's why you need to migrate from it when you want to come to CarrierWave. So can we look at Paperclip? In case you're interested in reading this README file more, these are GitHub README file actually for CarrierWave. Yeah. Okay. So we can go over to the next provider, not provider, the next gem that allows you to do that. Paperclip. So Paperclip, I think it was a project by, it was an internal project by someone at Thoughtbot for like a year or two. They were using it internally for client projects, just like we have our M-Pesa thing. So they use it for a year or close to a year and a half. Then they released it as a gem, free for everyone who wants to use it, after it was good enough. Paperclip. And it's been used ever since. I'm not sure whether it was 2007 or something. Paperclip. So they announced that they're deprecating Paperclip last week, if I'm not wrong. So Paperclip is being deprecated in favor of Rails storage, Rails file storage. So Rails 5.2 comes with something called file storage that does this for you. So you no longer need a gem. I was actually wondering why for all those years, Rails never gives this out of the box, file uploads. It's always been a mystery to me. And it's not that anyone is selling services for uploading files, but it's just been a hassle to upload binary files in Rails. So in Rails 5.2, which was released last month, at least they have now this inbuilt. So let's have a look at Paperclip by Thoughtbot. This is an awesome company, by the way. Thoughtbot is an awesome company. They have this Paperclip factory bot that we normally use. They have suspenders, which probably we've never used. But suspenders is a Rails template. So this template, I know I'm deviating, but it's worth it. So gem install suspenders, then you give it the project name. It will set up, it includes gems like auto prefixers, these delayed job, high voltage, jQuery Rails. It will have all this for you. Okay? Yeah? Yeah, it's always been there. And development gems like .env, PryRails, Bullet, Web Console. I've never even heard of any of some of these. It will give you testing like Capybara, FactoryBot. All this will be set up for you if you use Suspenders. Okay? Then you can also create staging and production apps like this using Suspenders, the gem. So these are an awesome company. Really, really awesome. You can have a look at them. That's beside the point. Now let's talk about their paperclip. So in paperclip, a very big note, paperclip is deprecated. Okay. Now they recommend active storage. We can open that up. For existing projects, please consult and contribute to the migration guide. We have the English version and whoa. Okay, probably no. This is the English version, this is the Spanish version. Okay, existing documentation, here it is. This is only valid for the master branch of this. So let's just do this quick now that we've understood the other one. Now you can also process images, just like the previous one. Are we still together? Okay, you can also process uploaded images. Files, just a minute. Manual installation, not helping. Now this is how to install it. If you want to install the master, you know what to do. Then this for 9 Rails, you have to include the module. Okay. Now, if you have the model user, it has an attached file. This is a method, of course. Avatar, the styles are these. So it will create a medium one for you and a thumbnail. Then the default URL, if you don't provide a URL for the user, will be this. Okay. If a user doesn't have an avatar, then it will use this as the default avatar. Then it validates that only images are attached. It validates by content type. So they are actually doing the same thing in different ways with different APIs. Okay. You can add migrations, Rails migrations, add attachment, remove attachment, users avatar. So to the users table, add an avatar column. Okay. So these are existing. Add avatar columns to users. So the users probably have their names and whatever. Now you have to add their avatars. Okay. Now in your edit and new views that you want the user to either edit their avatars or create a new avatar, this is what you can have. So as usual, you have the user multi-part true, file upload is this, then you can submit. In your controller, create this, then permit the avatar. It will be stored for you. View helpers, you can have this avatar.url. Avatar.url medium will get you the medium image. Thumb will get you the thumbnail version. If you want to check if it exists, you can say file ? or present. To delete an attachment, you set it to nil. Okay. Then usage, the basics of this. Now, paperclip wraps up 4 attributes: the file name, file size, content type, and updated art, all prefixed with the attachment's name. Attachment file name, question file name, answer file name, avatar file name, like that. Okay. So by default, only this is required for paperclip to operate. You'll need to add this one in case you want to use content type validation. Then here you have the validations. So validate with these attributes avatar. All these are validations. You can tell it to upload up to 1 MB maximum. Okay. What else do we have here? Yeah, all these are validations. This is how to tell it that I only want PNG and yeah, the regular expressions. Defaults. So this is your application. You give it defaults. Your storage is fog. You now know what fog is. Okay. Now fog credentials are over here. Now, what else? I don't think there's so much again to be discussed, but you can use file storage. You know what file storage is. You know what S3 is, and you know what fog is so far. Okay. This should be it for the much you need to know. I can see you can fingerprint images that will be uploaded. Okay, cool. We good? Okay, let's move over to the next. Okay, we can read a bit about this. Migrating deprecation plan history. It began in 2007. Okay, by attachment. It was a pet project by this guy who worked at Thoughtbot between projects. That was before we had time to do all this. The first commit was someone besides Nani ilikuwa 2008, which means it was a year later. Okay, and now they are deprecating it. The next one should be Dragonfly. Yeah, can see Getty flying. I don't know what excites her. So Dragonfly accessor photo. So in all these, you will realize that the main documentation is here. You will realize that once you add the gem, then different APIs are exposed to you on how to attach the file, tell it where it is, and remove it. Okay. For images, there are options on how to manipulate using either Minimagick or RMagick. Okay. So they're claiming that their main documentation is over here. Okay, so this is their main documentation. Okay, image tag photo.thumb, give it the size.url. It will give you back whatever you want. You can generate text images on demand in Sinatra. This is how to define roots in Sinatra. Okay, so this will return whatever it is. What again will it return? No idea. So, or generally, you can manage attachments from your web app. These are WAV files. You can fetch it. .app.fetch URL. So we have different APIs by different people to work with. Okay. Welcome to Dragonfly. It's already used by thousands of websites. If you want to generate image thumbnails, yeah, looks easier. I think the other one, in my opinion, the easiest I've ever used is Paperclip. But again, I used CarrierWave. It was awesome for Rails 4. Okay, let's head over to Active Storage. How long do I have? 3 minutes. So Rails, after realizing our inside problems, which I know they knew, they decided to add ability to operate with the file uploads, just as usual. Okay, so the drill is the same. They are doing the same exact thing using probably a different API. So as long as you know what you want, I normally tell Linda and the group that if you know what you want to do, then it's easier because you just have to look up how it's done. Okay, you know very well that I only want to upload to Amazon. Okay, look up how you can upload to Amazon. I want to resize the files. Look up how to resize the files. I want to get the file. Look up how to get the file. It's hard for people to remember methods and their construction. So Active Storage facilitates uploading all files to cloud services like S3, Google, Microsoft Azure, and attaching files to Active Record objects. Okay. It comes with a local disk space service. None of what you need to do right now. So You can use ImageMagick again to transform images or generate image representation of non-image uploads like PDF and videos and extract metadata from the files. Okay, this looks awesome. If someone attaches a PDF, then you can get an image representation of the PDF and use that. Looks awesome. So now that we're out of time, we know what we need to do. Add configuration to tell it what to do, right? So these are the configurations. If you want to do Amazon S3, give it inside your storage.yaml. In your YAML file, the service is S3, access key, this, region, bucket. Absolutely no difference. Then you have to add this to your gem file. No difference from the rest. Microsoft Azure, the same. Google Cloud, the GCP, whatever, here it is. Same exact thing. You're good to go. Not really. You can move depending on client projects or your own preferences. Now, what if you learned to use Paperclip and now it's being deprecated? It means you have to move to the next. Okay. Gone. Okay. So you can attach files, has one attached. All these is a repetition of what you've done before. You can remove files, linking to files. You see a user.avatar. Disposition. Remember disposition? Yeah, Kevin, at least Kevin remembers what disposition does. Yeah, it tells you whether you're trying to download the file or you're trying to view it inside the browser. Okay, that's it from my end. A sample code on I don't know if it's like Heroku for Amazon. That's the best answer I can give for now. So under our configs, no, I won't risk doing this. Probably there might be secret keys there. Yes, no, there might be secret keys, but let me see. What can I show you? Uploaders. Is it a risk? Do you have any? Bye, Linda. Enda huko na hiyo hati yako. Enda huko na hiyo hati yako. So, okay, I just wanted to show you guys sample code on how that works. So I'll do that offline immediately after this, just in case. There are keys that are there. So this actually, how do you call it? I think my brain is full. The code that I'm about to show you is legacy. So I'm not sure what was put where. That's why I don't just open up things. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed and understood something without slides. Get you, Nini? What do you mean rule changer? No, mimi ndio ningelala. No, singelala. Muchangamka, si ati nini. Oh, thank you guys. No, bado. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week on Wednesday for the next one. Oh, what should we discuss on the next on the next Rails meetup? TDD will be Ruby meetup for next week. Now, what will you do for Rails the other week? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Huh? Do. Ooh. We do. Tumaliza MVC. Yes. Tushafanya hadi uploads ate. That's too beginner. It is too beginner and it'll take too much time. Hebu imagine unaanza kubundle. Sasa zile na bundle mnasema. We are now bundling. Let's wait for it and be patient. Huwa ikawi hivi lakini leo ati you want us to do a Kodo in Rails. How do you do a Kodo in Rails? So what can we do in Rails? Let's talk about validations in Rails. Look at the validation API. Yes, you can have a look at the validation API. Which next meetup? Oh, RSpec. It's 1 week ago. We have a week for the next one. So is it a deal that we're doing the not TDD, the other one? Is it yes, the validation API? Okay. Yeah, we talked about Active Record previously. Okay, so bye guys. If you want to stick around, it's okay. I'm stopping the broadcast so you guys can take screenshots if you wish. Where do we do that?